In this tutorial I'm going to demonstrate how you can migrate from Gaia R76 to Gaia R7730. If you look at my diagram, I have two topologies. I have the green topology and I also have the blue topology. In the green topology I am running Gaia R76, and in the blue topology I am running Gaia R7730. This topology, the green one, it's up and running at the moment. This topology is not powered on. Everything is virtually, by the way. I am using virtual machines, and I am using workstation 10. Now I am going to go and show you the policies that I have on this management server, and I'm going to go to my Windows 7 and I will access the internet so you can see that everything works fine. Then we're going to go into the management server and export our configuration, our policy, our objects, everything we created. We're going to use the migration tools to do that. We'll export our configuration, we'll shut down this topology, we'll power up the blue topology. I will show you that this management server hasn't got no configuration whatsoever. Then we'll import our configuration that we have exported from this management server into this management server, and then we can get this window machine running up, going through the management server, going through the firewall and to the internet. So let me show you, this is my workstation 10. I have my Windows 7, I've got my management server 76 and my gateway 76. As you can see, I've got a management server 77 and a gateway 77. They are not powered on at the moment, they're switched off. So if I go back to my diagram, if you can have a look, every single IP address that I have given this topology is exactly the same in this topology, and the reason for that is because everything will export from here, like when we created the object of my Windows 8. Windows 8, by the way, is the actual machine that I'm running this virtual environment. It has the IP address of 10.1.1.254. Okay, I could have created another object and call it Windows 7. Obviously I would have given it a 10.1.1.10 IP address, which is the IP address of that Windows. So when we bring a configuration from this management server into this management server, obviously our Windows 7 object will have that IP address. So I always advise that you create exactly the same topology if you're going to create a new management server. One other way we could have done this, we could have export our configuration from this management server. Let's say we didn't have the blue topology. We could have export our configuration from this management server, save it to our desktop, then come in here and upgrade this management server from R76 to R7730, and then bring our configuration back into the new management server. So I've created these two topologies for simplicity and make things faster and quicker, instead of upgrading and then bringing the configuration into this management server. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to go into this management server and I will show you the configurations. I will show you the rules that I've created. I will show you the objects that I've created. Then I'm going to go to this machine and access the internet. Then we're going to carry on with exporting the configuration, save it onto our desktop, and then after that we'll shut this down, bring this topology up, and bring our configuration into this management server. Okay, now I have logged into that management server already, which is the R76. Okay, I've created a policy called My Corporation, and I've got 4 rules. I have created Windows 8 object, and I also created the inside network. Let me go and create a Windows 7 as well. a Windows 7 is the virtual machine. So I'm going to do that, just so you can see that. Sorry, that's 10.1.1.10. That's the IP address of it. Okay, I am going to save that. I don't need to push the topology. I don't need that Windows 7 anyway, but I just created it so you can see when we bring this configuration into Gaia R7730 that you'll see I've got these two windows there. Okay, the policy has been saved, as you can see. So I'm going to go now to my I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to go to Windows 7 and you will see that I can access the internet. There you go, that's fine. Let me go to another website. Fine, works. Okay, right, now we need to go into our management server. Let me expand this a little bit. Let me log in. Okay, now for us to do this, we need to use Checkpoint's migration tools, so we can migrate from one version to another. The way we can do this, we need to log into the expert mode. So we type expert. If you make notes as we go along, then you can have everything in order, so you'll know if you try this yourselves, you can just follow the same order that I am going through. If we type enter now, it will tell us that we have to set up a password. Okay, there's no password set, so we type set expert. If I press the tab key, it will complete it for me. Set expert password, enter. It's asking me for the password, so I type the password once, enter. It will ask me to verify. I will type the password again, and it takes me out. Bear in mind, we are in the Clish mode at the moment. The shell we're using here is the Clish shell. If I type expert now, it will ask me for the password that I've just created earlier, or further up. And once I type that, it will put me into the, as you can see, it puts me into the expert mode. Okay, now we need to log into this machine via the Windows SCP. I'm going to leave that there. I'm going to try and log into it. Bear in mind the IP address of this machine is 10.1.1.1. Let me bring up Windows SCP. Okay, so 10.1.1.1, my username admin and my password. It will not let me log in because I have to change the shell that I'm in, and I will explain that in a minute. Yeah, it will not let me log in because I am at the moment in the Clish shell. So I need to change from the Clish shell to the Bash shell. And the way we can do that, it's we need to go to our expert mode and type in change shell, CHSH space -s space / bin / bash space admin. Okay, that's the command. When we go back to the other topology, Checkpoint R7730, I will show you another way you can do this without typing in this command in case you don't remember it. But it's a good thing to have it somewhere written down when you're going through this and make notes of it. So if I hit enter, it's telling me now that the shell has been changed to admin, and is the bash shell. Yep. Now if I go now to the Windows SCP software, I can try and log in again. Excuse me. Okay, here we go. We're logged in. This window on the right, it's my management server, and this Windows on the left, it represents my Windows 8 machine. Okay, Windows 8 machine is this machine that I'm actually running all this virtual environment on. I'm gonna go to my desktop there, and here let's go to the root. Okay, so we need to import in here on our management server the migration tools from Checkpoint. Now I happen to have it on my computer, which I will show you now. Because we're migrating for R76 to R7730, we need to use the R7730 migration tools, not the R76, because we are migrating from R76 to R7730. So we need the R7730 migration tools, and we have to find it. I will go and find it in fact now. Migration tools. Okay, R7730, that's the one I need. Okay, you can actually find this on Checkpoint's website and download it. Obviously, if you don't have an account with them, you have to open an account. It's free, and then you can search for it and find this file. So that file we need to drag it over here and copy it. So we need to copy it in this folder. Bear in mind, you need to go to the root of the management server. You have to go into the var folder, and then you have to go into the TMP folder. Now we need to drag this here and copy it in here now. Bear in mind, when you copy from your local machine into the management server, the transfer settings should be in binary. If we go up here, it's the default. So the transfer setting is set to default. So if we click that button, it tells me that the transfer type is binary at the moment, but I am going to select binary just to double make sure is the right one. And then I am going to drag this and copy it over here. Now if you look at this folder now, this folder is being copied. If you look at this folder, is zipped. Yep. So I need to right click, go down to command or custom commands, and untar or unzip it. It will give me a lot of folders, a lot of files here. It's asking me where do I want to extract it, and obviously I want to extract it in that same folder, var tmp. Okay. Okay, it's all there. This is the first step. We copied our migration tools over. We copied the R7730 migration tools, and we can get out of here at the moment. Now if we go back to our command line of our management server, we need to change our directory to the var tmp folder. So if I type cd change directory space / var / tmp, that will take me into that folder. To confirm that, I can type ls to list the files. As you can see, the files are here. That's the big file that we transferred, that is zipped, and these are the files that when we extracted that folder, or that file, sorry, when we extracted it, we got all these files here. So we're in the right directory. So what we need to do now is to export our configuration, and to do that you need to put a full stop, type a full stop / migrate export. We want to export it. when we go to R7730, we will import it. So now it's export space, and then we have to give it, we'll have to give a file a name. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to do security management server, I don't know, -a, and then I have to give it an extension. The extension you give it is the same as that, .tgz. Okay, .tgz, and hit the enter. It's telling me that it's going to create the folder, but we have to stop the services. I should have done this before, but as we go along, it will do this for me. So it's asking me now that, do you really want to export this file? And if you do, you have to stop the checkpoint services. Okay, so I'm going to type yes, so we'll stop the services. It will stop the service and copy the file. Once the file is created, it will be created in that same folder, the var tmp folder. So we need to use the Windows SCP software again to log into our management server, and then we can drag and copy that SMS file that we've created. This file here, we need to copy it into our desktop. Okay, so we can have it saved here, and then after that is done, we need to shut down R76 topology. We'll power up the R7730 topology, and we'll go through the procedure to import it into the new topology, which obviously is the R7730. Okay, it's done. It's telling me here the operation completed successfully, and the location of the file, the archive, is in the var tmp template and is called SMS-A. Okay, let me bring up the Windows SCP again, and let's log back into the management server. Okay, if we go to the root, then we go down to the var and tmp, you'll see here is our file that we created. This file here holds our configuration from R76, so I need to copy it over to my desktop. So I am going to drag it over here. I need to make sure that the transfer settings is always set to binary. Okay, so I need to copy it over here. You'll see it will be copied onto my desktop here. Okay, that's been copied. We can shut this down again, and if I show you, there is the file. Okay, so I've got that on my desktop. Okay, now I am going to shut down the management server 76 and the gateway 76. I'm going to power these two up, the 7730 topology, and I will come back as soon as that's done, so we can continue with the import of the file. Okay, I'm back. As you can see, management server 76 is powered off, and the gateway 76 is powered off. I've got the management server 7730 powered up, and also the gateway 7730 is powered up. I'm going to log into the management server now via the dashboard. So you can see there are no rules there. As you can see, this is the first time I'm logging in because it's showing me the fingerprint. I'll accept that. Okay. Okay, here we are. There's no rules. and if you look at the policy, it's the standard policy. I haven't created anything. This is the first time I'm logging in. If you look at my checkpoint, I've only got the management server here. When we import a configuration that we have exported, you will see later on we're going to get the firewall here as well. We're going to get our nodes, that Windows 8 and Windows 7. We will also get our inside network here. So there's nothing here at the moment. Okay, and we are running Gaia 77.30. Okay, I am going to get out. I don't want to change any change. Now here in our management server, we're going to have to log into it via the Windows SCP again on this one. And if you remember earlier, I've told you when we go into the expert mode, we're going to have to change from the clish shell to the bash shell. And if you remember the command we typed in the expert mode, it was change shell space -s space / bin bash space admin. Remember that? Okay, I did tell you earlier that I'm going to show you a different way where you don't have to type this in. So I'm going to leave that as it is. If we log into our management server via HTTPS, okay, okay, if we go down to users, the only user I've got here is admin. Okay, now if I double click on that, I can change the shell from there. You see we're in the clish shell, CLISH. So if I move down to bin bash, okay, then that will allow me to log into the management server using Windows SCP without typing that command on the command line. Okay, we'll save that, we'll get out of here, and we go into, oh, in fact, no, that's fine. We need to use Windows SCP now to log into a new server. Okay, you can see now I didn't have to type that command line, that command on the command line. And again, here we are. We got this window is representing our management server, and this is my local window, Windows 8. If I go to my desktop, I should be able to see the file we exported earlier. There it is. Now we need to import that. Again, we're not going to import it in this var tmp file. We're not going to import it here. The file we need to find and import it, it's we need to go to opt, make notes of that. You go to the root, you go to opt, then we go to cp suite R77. We double click on that, then we go to firewall 1, double click on that, we go to bin, and then we go to upgrade tools and upgrade tools. Okay, okay, there is the directory. Okay, we go to the root, opt, cp suite R77, firewall 1, bin, upgrade tools. Now we need to bring that folder or that file that we created on with that configuration in this directory here. Obviously, as I said earlier, make sure your transfer settings is set to binary. Okay, and then we drag this over here. Okay. Right, I'm sorry about that, bear with me a second. All we need from here is that, nothing else. We need to get out and we need to go to our command line now. Okay. Okay, we're in the expert mode. Okay, straight away. And what we need to do, we need to change our directory now to that OPT CPH suite R77 firewall 1. Was it bin upgrade tools? Yeah. So the way we can go there is we go change directory, we do the $sign FWDIR firewall directory. Okay. Then we go to /bin / was upgrade tools, wasn't it? Upgrade _ tools. Okay, we click enter there. Now we change the directory. We want to make sure that we're in the right directory, so if we type ls to list the files there, as you can see we're in the right directory because there is the file we transferred earlier. Okay, now our file is there, we need to migrate import. Remember, we migrate export earlier on from R76. Now we want to import the migration into R7730. So the procedure is the same. Full stop / migrate import space. If I type SM and tab, it will give me the file, because there's no other file here within this directory that starts with SM. Okay, if there was another one, let's say if there was another file called SMA, then I would have to type SMA and then the tab. So there is the migrate import. There's the command that you need to type, and hit the enter key, and it's extracting the database. Okay, I am going to pause the video until this is done. It doesn't take long, but I'm going to pause the video because we already recorded about 29 minutes. I'm going to pause the video and I will come back. Oh, it's almost done. So I am not going to do that. It's telling me to stop if I want to stop the services again, which I want to do that, yes. Okay, it's as soon as the services are stopped, it's going to extract the file, I believe, and import the configuration into the directory. So I'm going to pause the video now and I will come back. As you can see, it's importing the files. Okay, it's done, and it's asking me if I want to restart the services. Obviously I do want to restart the services, otherwise nothing will work. Yes, enter. The services will restart. Then we're going to log into it. I'm sorry, I had the microphone away from my mouth. It was asking me to restart, if I wanted to restart the services, which I said yes, and now the services are up and running. Okay, we're done here, so we need to log into it now via the dashboard, and you will see that all our configuration, it's imported. Oh, sorry about that. Okay, here we go. There is a policy, my corporation. There is our rules. There is a gateway. There is a nodes. There is a network, inside network. As you can see, it has created the gateway, and the IP address is 10.1.1.2. That's why I said at the beginning you need to create exactly the same topology if you're using two different topologies. If you're going to use one topology and you're going to upgrade afterwards from R76 to R7730 and then import the configuration, then well and good, you don't have to do anything like that. But there you go. These are the blades that we had enabled: IPS, IPsec, monitoring, blah blah blah. Okay. There it is. It's all there. We'll save it. We'll get out, and now I'm going to go to my Windows 7 now to see if I can access the internet. Oh, we won't be able to access the internet. And you know why? I know why. Let me go back here. I'm sure you figured it out. We have our policies in our management server, but we didn't push them to the gateway. So I need to push them to the gateway. So let me check that the synchronization, it's okay, the sync is down. Try to establish. Okay, I'm going to try to re-establish. You see the synchronization is down. I'm going to communicate again. Oh, it's telling me there is established. I'm going to cancel. Let's try and push the policy and see if we can get to it. You see, it's telling me the gateway is called 76 because when I've created the gateway in R76, I named it R76. So when my configuration was exported, it did export my management server and the gateway as R76. Okay, bear that in mind. Now we need to synchronize the gateway to the management server. Communication, I'm going to reset it. Sometimes it doesn't work, so let's see if it's going to work this time. Yeah, okay, we established the test. Fantastic, okay. And now we can go and push the policy. Okay, installation successful. Close that. We don't need this anymore. Let's refresh our page. And here we go. We have access to the internet. Thank God for that. And that is the procedure, my friends. All you need to do is to make notes as we go along, and Once you do this a few times, you get the hang of it. I mean, you can remember, I remember the folders, I can remember where I can go, I can remember the command line because I've done it so many times, so it's in my head at the moment. I don't even have any notes. So what we did is we have migrated from this machine and we migrated to this machine. We export it from here and we import it in here. And that's how you migrate from R76 to R7730. I hope this has been informative, and I'd like to thank you for watching. Bye bye.